Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Living World of Darkness, the Changeling venue, also known as the Kingdom of Apples, the only venue where you can play as a fairy. Or, well, technically half fae, but yeah. Anyway, the scene takes place, for argument's sake, because we didn't discuss this before we actually hit the record button, let's just say it's at the library in Taranar, because, you know, that's kind of a place where lots of changelings like to gather around and read books and chat and, do shit that changelings sometimes do. Because, sometimes the best parties happen in libraries. Don't ask me why. It's just something that just seems to happen in this venue. Anyway, yes. We'll start the scene with the person who who has actually started the scene, the new Slewer. So, where are you in this library?
Currently returning a magazine.
There's a Changeling magazine?
Oh, there are many. There are periodicals, and there are some very interesting things there.
No, there's not.
Wicked Whisper Weekly, it's a thing.
No, Joey, I didn't get the merporn. He just looked at it.
My ears are burning.
In any case, he's returning some sort of book that he got. Let's put it that way. One with some interesting illustrations. And he's just taking a look around for some other books and stuff, keeping a low profile. He's only met Two-Face since he came into the city. He does not have anyone else with him at this time, just to make it simpler, since it's a huge scene.
Okay. Anyone else presently in the library at this time?
Sorry, I was still doing all those messages I mentioned.
No, that's okay.
I don't know. Sure, why not? Lainey will wander in there because, well, that's kind of her second home anyway. And she pretty much knows exactly where she wants to go. Heads directly over to the section on arts, actually, and begins collecting a very large pile of books. So, yeah, does that and heads to a table with this big pile of books that's probably about as she could just barely see over this pile of books, and she's kind of holding it under her chin with her arms underneath, almost as if cradling a baby.
And for argument's sake, because this is also how they first met, Lainey will just happen to see Arthur sat at the table with a particular book in his hand, which you just... Don't worry, no, I haven't got to that part yet. He looks to be rather bored with it. Which, considering the actual title of the book, probably it probably reveals a lot about the particular subject that he's researching and just how boring it can be. Look at this thing.
I can't even see what you're... Hold on a minute.
Hang on, I'll zoom in.
There it is. That is a boring subject for a changeling.
Yes, very.
Those damn children of Lilith.
Yes.
Right.
So and he actually
see
flicks it over his head. Fuck me, it actually landed proper side up.
Yeah, if I'm holding up a changeling book, there's no way I would have thrown it.
Landed proper side. That's the second time that it's done that. But yeah, Martha will just like toss the book overhead, not caring where it lands. Oh. Good day, my lady. Sorry, I didn't bother you there with my...
Actually, as he throws it, he doesn't quite realize it, but it kind of went just barely over her head. So she's kind of having to do those ducking motions while carrying the books. She's like, oh, just kind of ducking, just... What the fuck?
I'm very sorry about that, lady. My lady. And Arthur actually like stand up and like pull his chair out and offer it to Baroness Laney as some meager means of apology.
She's gonna look suspiciously back at the book for just a moment. Make sure it doesn't like get legs and walk away or something.
No,
And then,
it's not. I don't think. Oh, I don't think it was made by Shemisi. Yes.
And
this is not
still,
Asian.
it's just creepy that it landed right side up. That's the point. And so she, after eyeing it for just a moment, will be like, "Oh, hi. Fancy meeting you here again."
Yes. My apologies. I did not intend to attempt to decapitate you with that book. Not that it really could do that much. It's about as dull as a very dull thing. My apologies.
Yeah. For the record, even a very dull blade can take off a head. It just hurts a lot more.
Fair point, fair point.
Dying by paper cuts would not be my favorite thing.
Yes, I do believe the Chinese perfected the art of death by 1,000 cuts. I've seldom found a person that's patient enough to do such a thing. But anyway, do you have a seat already?
Fine. Yes. Sure. And
Arthur
she'll carefully set her pile of books down and start separating them so that she can see over them when she sits down herself. And just go ahead and take a seat.
Arthur will be, as courteous and toady-like. Well, we say toady-like in the most nicest fashion possible. I mean, after all, he has just attempted to murder a baron with a book, so Yes, as soon as he does that, and he's like,
It was a very poor attempt, but it was an attempt.
an unintentional attempt, manslaughter, as it were. Yes, once he's done that, he'll courteously, grovelingly almost, pick up the book that he flicked over his head in a huff, because he's a immature little bastard like that. Goes around the table to probably the other side, and sits down at another table and puts it down. Anything interesting on your part?
What, in the books?
Yes.
She seems to be focusing a lot on Tailcraft, actually, at the moment.
Ooh.
And the other books are just kind of general books on art. A more generalized look, but there are 2 or 3 on specifically Tailcraft. If in case that's something that because you'd be able to see she's not hiding the books. It's a big pile of books.
Yeah. He's probably browsed 1 or 2 of them fleetingly, but like many changelings, he probably does have some form of ADD or ADHD actually, but I'm just a bit too lazy to say ADHD. He's like, excellent choices. And rather don't think this is a very good thing for me, would you have anything suggesting more interesting, as it were, for matters relating to the occult?
To the occult? I don't even know what that book is that you have in your hand.
I don't know, neither. It's just... I think it's a book on, trying to get people to sleep, because it has some rather boring subjects in it.
Land of Nod, that makes sense.
Yes. Wasn't there a farmer that went to try and go into that place?
I don't know. That's a very
a very angry farmer, I think.
It sounds like a story maybe you should tell me.
Maybe I will once I actually properly read this thing. There seems to be some sort of bizarre hieroglyph that is being used in this. Or maybe I'm just not. I'm forgetting that you have to read from left to right in English. It's probably that.
It's not that hard to realize, considering that. Well, I'm guessing you probably grew up that way, speaking English.
Well,
at least to a point.
I must be having an off day. an off life, more like.
Maybe.
Oh yes. Have you seen Rancor lately?
I see him most days actually, considering that he's been doing a lot of, shall we say, research and essay things on the Escheat for obvious reasons.
Yes, he told me about that. My own personal views towards his current predicament are what they are, but you know, you are his mentor. I presume.
I am.
Well, you will have your own views toward this, and you are you are the one who is teaching him. So I can only put my own opinion forward, and it carries very little weight. Though he did tell me, well, I did tell him, and I hope that he told you, but he petitioned to me for me to search for a member of House Baelor, who was also quite a adept surgeon in regards to this whole iceworm thing. And I did tell him to tell you that my efforts were successful.
They were successful?
Yes. I've located a member of House Baelor who has the medical expertise in order to follow through with one of the original plans that Rancor put forward. Take out the iceworm's heart and use it to restart the balefires.
Fair. Well, that's good to know that he found that there is somebody that description.
I found them. However, I did speak to them and their representatives, and they told me that they feel it would be best if I were to accompany them to a formal meeting with yourself and anyone else who is participating in this endeavor. You know, they do have the reputation, and they feel that they would feel more comfortable being in the presence of someone how's it they put it? Someone they feel could act as a neutral party, as it were. After all, their house, as they told me, gets blamed for a lot of things unnecessarily.
At this point in time, I don't think any of us really wants to play the blame game on it. We simply think, at least most of us seem to think, we just need to deal with the situation because it's going to harm all of us.
Indeed, indeed. And they also spoke of a matter of recompensation for the considerable risks that they will be taking with this, but I do believe that this is an issue which you and our respective peers.
Is that a toilet flushing? There was a weird sound I just heard.
Yes, I heard it as well. It didn't come from my end.
No, it flipped over to Solon.
That would be the airplanes going overhead.
Oh, I'm so glad, because it sounded terrible.
Sorry.
Yeah, I was.
You hear it? Yep, it's the same noise.
I don't think that it must be. I dread to think of the bowel problems that person must be having if they can flush a toilet and it be that loud when they're like 15,000 feet overhead.
And on the note of bowel movements, can we have somebody else come in?
Yes.
At this point, you'll see Count Castiel Hawthorne walking beside Estrella. Well, when Estrella gets back, at least. He's walking a few paces ahead of them. They look as if they're in rapt conversation about something. She says she'll be a minute. And
no, she here. She here.
Oh, okay. We said 5 minutes. I was trying to cover a few. But yeah.
And I would say Lainey's gonna look up and kind of wave to both of them.
Hi.
Yo.
Arthur will do also. You won't do like the Queen's like wave where she's like got like the mechanical hand on the side of the the inside of the car. You know, you just go.
Yeah, she'll kind of wave to everybody, and then her head's going to kind of snap to the new Slua that she's never seen before. Assuming that he's sitting in the group.
He's around somewhere, but he hasn't come up to say anything yet.
Oh, cool. Oh, and that's fine. Her head's going to snap over to this guy. Those books aren't good for that. She's just going to say very blatantly.
You can be more subtle about those things, Estrella.
I know I could. I just choose not to.
Fair enough.
And she's actually going to walk over to them because they're kind of still in the process of coming in, I take it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just be like, Astria, Your Excellency.
Yes. How are you, Lainey?
I'm good. I guess.
Yes.
Justin. Well, Rancor's my ward after all. I'm sure you can imagine how that is going.
Interesting, I hope.
You haven't heard?
Heard.
I thought most people had heard. Did you hear about Timmy?
I did. He kind of says in a very flat voice, like...
Rancor was there.
Oh. Is he okay?
He is alive and well,
I'm glad.
but his behavior may have legal ramifications. And as his mentor, that has to be dealt with.
I'm sure he chooses his words carefully.
As he should.
Do you need any assistance?
Right now, I just have him, until basically we're waiting to hear what comes down about it.
Okay.
I already had to meet with the chief magistrate, so. But I have him head deep in research on the Ashit and why it exists, and the many, many, many reasons why he needs to be following it.
I thought that's such a basic lesson he would already know.
I had been under that impression as well, my lord. I asked him, it was the first question I asked him, what do I need to do to explain, what do you know about the Ashit? And he sounded like he knew.
He kind of shakes his head. Well then, as far as that goes, I'm sure you'll be able to handle it with grace and tact.
I hope so. I don't think doesn't have hope. I just think he very clearly needs more in-depth learning. And it's terrible what happened to Timmy, so... Anyway... as she gestures back over to Arthur, she'll be like, have you met Arthur?
Yes, we met briefly in a hunt that myself, Lady Greyhawk, and Satoshia met before. And Arthur actually, pull out his chair and stand up and give a courteous bow to Count Castiel. Good evening to you.
Evening
Lord.
to you.
And go ahead.
No, he was just going to say good evening. That was going to be the extent of it.
Yes, pretty much.
Since I didn't realize that Timothy's character was actually talking to mine. I thought they were talking to Anthony's character.
Oh yeah, no, just saying, just because this is a character that escalates things, Mortha will now notice the strange she-woman is now just directly next to him. And she just says again, those books aren't good for that.
I'm not even sure what books he's looking at right now. I'm going to say, randomly, we are in the Red Cap cooking section.
Then those definitely aren't the right books for that.
Exactly. He just kind of looks like, oh, I was just browsing.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure if you were doing actual research, because if you were doing actual research, yeah, it's not the best.
He kind of looks at her askance. Morthil.
Astria, it's nice to meet you.
Pleasure. He just he still seems a little like almost like he's nervous, like he's not sure. He's been told it's okay for him to be here, but he still kind of finds it just like, wow, all this information publicly available, that's just almost too easy. He's like, he's afraid at any moment if he's picking up one of the decent books, like he's gonna have a clerk come over and smack it out of his hands. Bad Slua, no banana. So yes, he seems nervous.
So, I haven't seen you around here too often. You new here?
Relatively. This is my second visit.
Well, feel like mingling a little bit?
Certainly. Suppose
All right,
it couldn't
come
hurt. He'll let himself be dragged, essentially.
Oh well, she's not actually dragging him. Like she's not actually touching him because she just met this dude and that's not okay.
He'll follow. He'll follow.
Hey, Galador, sit at one of the tables that you passed, just to make it easy. He's reading.
Okay.
He
will.
And he,
Galador, she will drag.
Galador is just following, very surprised, holding his book on House Dougal history, just like he has these really wide eyes. Is like, oh, Baroness, nice to see you. As she's dragging him along.
Yo, what's up, Sir Galador?
Surprised.
Tell me, have you met Count Castiel yet?
No.
Okay, that's
no.
something we need to do.
And give me 1 second. I need to roll etiquette and intelligence.
All right.
Because out of character, I don't know the specifics of how you're supposed to address a count or anything. So I'm gonna roll.
Neither do
Go
I.
ahead.
I'm gonna do the same thing.
Go ahead.
Can I substitute politics for etiquette?
Not in this case.
Just ask my character. I got 3 successes.
I got a success.
You're good. Your Excellency is the proper method of address for a count or a countess.
Okie dokie, thank you.
Okay.
All right. She'll actually let go of him now and be like, he is one of the more high-ranking members of your house in the kingdom, so I figured it'd be a good idea for you to meet him at least.
Galador nods, and his eyes are super huge now.
And you, and she'll look at Morthel. I don't know if you have a house, but you can, sit and look pretty.
Nope. But yes, I can do that.
Sweet. Let's go.
By the way, what type is Astrea?
This is very obviously a she.
Okay.
Or if you botch a changing war check, you might think this is an issue, which is very funny.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna go with no.
Oh, you can jump in at any time if you want to, John. If you can hear me.
John.
John.
You there, buddy?
Okay. So you guys hear a loud bang. One of the bookcases just go down, followed by a "Oh, fucking damn it!"
Oh, you done fucked up in a very profound and serious way.
I'm going to go inspect the loud noise. I'm curious.
Yeah, Astra is going to.
Yeah, Arthur will as well, but he'll have the kind of look in his face, you know. Okay, but this is something very suspicious going on here.
Does Estrella let go of Galador though, or does she keep dragging?
No. She's like all of them. Like she only like grabbed him to like get him off his feet and let him know that like she's here. Only reason she did that is because they're semi-friends. She would never do that to anyone that she just barely met.
Aww.
Galador is probably heading over the noise, like probably following Astrea very threateningly.
And Morthal's just like tagging behind the both of you.
Castiel is going to walk towards the noise, slide the book he has on politics back to the spot where it was. And, are you alright?
Hmm?
Are you alright?
I'm sorry, was that in character?
Yes.
Toshi looks at Castiel and goes, "I think I'm alright, but I think I just fucked up bad."
Yeah, you're not about to be alright.
Yeah, Arthur probably looks at this whole thing, he probably does look over his shoulder just to check where Astra is before, you'll head over. I would recommend you say it wasn't your fault. She'll say to Toshi, whispering,
Was it what?
Mm-hmm. No. Yeah, Arthur just does face palms and walks back. He can't bear to look at what happens when Astria eventually comes around.
Oh no, she's here. She definitely looks like she feels ways about this.
For Mortal, is it?
Yes.
And for Mortal and Castiel, what you guys see is there is this big 9-foot-tall blue troll that is standing in front of a Naktor like the Naktor bookshelf, a very, very large one. And he seems to be wearing a very long red kimono with a huge sword on his back.
That roll was for gimmicks, as Castiel is going to kind of move his hands in a beckoning motion to pick up the fallen bookcase.
I'm actually going to do the same thing if I can, but to start putting the books, at least to get the books halfway decently stacked. Obviously, I can't just throw them back on the shelves because then they'll be out of order.
And
What do I roll for that? I've got gimmicks.
Realm. Art plus realm.
Okay, that's easily done. Nothing! I just waved my hands at the books impressively. Like, fix yourselves, books! Damn, they're not listening today.
Galador is watching Astrea, like he's right behind her and he's got that look on his face watching her from behind, like, how bad do I need to clean up? How many bodies am I going to have to clean up from this?
Cassiel is gonna reach out his left hand. If Toshio grabs it, he will notice that it's oddly cold.
No, he'll grab it to, pull it back and set it down like it was before.
And just normally, Cassiel will just begin picking up books and sliding them back. Did you find what you were looking for, at least?
I actually haven't. Oops.
What are you looking for?
I am looking for a book on Athene.
Teen, you say, good sir?
And Toshi turns to both, like pointing to both Mortil and Cassiel, goes like, "Who are the newbies?"
Toshi gets a very friendly but casual bonk on the head.
Can you reach his head?
How
If
tall
not,
is
we
Toshi?
can use gimmicks. We can use gimmicks to lift her up, and she can bonk you on the
that's a
head.
thing.
Toshi is about 9 feet tall.
Astra is like, she goes over a little over 6 foot. She can jump and get him.
That's just silly.
She'll just be like,
Yeah, lady's pretty much watching that going, I wish I had my camera here to take a picture. That would have been hilarious.
yeah, she'll be like, cool with the rudeness.
The fuck was that for?
You were being rude.
I'm always rude, so what?
That's
What's
not a
up?
good thing to be. Continues to put pet books.
Yeah. I'm sorry, Your Excellency. My newest housemate is a tad, well,
Housemate.
honesty is one of his greatest virtues.
Well then.
What the fuck? Your
Orthal's just going to quietly start putting books on the shelf also.
ex what? What you said?
Toshi, this is Count Castiel. The correct term for him is Your Excellency.
Ooh, bigwig. Yo.
Like I said before. Hello.
Good thing I'm not Gwydion. Holy shit. We would have a fight in the library right now. As it is in rolling willpower.
He looks at
Oh,
it.
fuck.
Did he say that out loud?
Hey, I have a character question, real fast. I'm assuming referring incorrectly to someone by their title tends to get up to be a more grievous offense the higher ranked the person is, right?
Depending on who you're
Depends
talking
entirely
to.
on the report.
Depending on who you're talking to and their affiliation and a lot of other things.
Yeah.
But as a standard, we'll say generally yes. But you're going to have to gauge each person separately, I think.
Of course.
You're learning this guy, so you have no idea.
Yeah, like Astria doesn't care, but you don't know if this guy cares.
Lady doesn't care unless you're someone who's pissed her off, and then she expects you to use her full title.
So, Galador looks at Toshio. You should be more respectful to the Count. He's a noble after all. If you can't be respectful, then maybe you should have some lessons.
He kind of puts up his hands. It could be that this is he's learning. Rather not be so harsh on him.
Yes, Your Excellency. And but Galador does like a full bow to
Mhm.
Castiel, and then goes back to standing behind Astrea. Still
And
glowering.
When he does that, Toshi is gonna do a puking motion, like.
And yeah, Lady's gonna go up to him, just kind of do one of those side hits on his arm, and just be like, "Stop it! What the hell is wrong with you?"
Tell me.
Yeah, so you feeling all right, good sir? And Arthur semi-theatrically walks over to Toshio and like pats him on the back a little bit hard, but not enough. Not obviously not enough to cause damage. But it's kind of like, yeah, you feel a little bit sick, don't you?
If you were to spend your entire fucking day, besides in like darkness and spiders, you would be some jumpy too. Trust me.
Cursing and swearing so much indicates a poor grasp of the human language, or for that matter, English. Do you have a problem with speaking proper English?
Not really.
Good. At least he gives him a quiz look, almost a little bemused. So, tell me, Eli and Ilonid, who has very poor manners, my, that's almost a common state these days.
And the look on Lady's
Oh.
face. Oh shit! I have to see if I can hide this look on Lady's face right now, because I know exactly what he's referring to.
So what's gonna happen is Toshi is going to walk up to Castiel.
Mm-hmm.
No, she's gonna put.
She
Astria's
hides. She hides it. She hides it. Okay.
And when like Astria reaches out, he's gonna be like, it's okay, it's okay, it's okay, it's okay.
Toshi, and she looks at him and she says, "That is enough."
My lords
I'm
and
not gonna do
ladies,
anything. What?
Toshi,
if on the subject,
no. You know what you're doing right now. This is not productive. Please stop.
Toshi, might, if on the subject of the vulgarity of the English language, might I suggest you hear what one of the Athene would say in this situation? Would you like to hear it?
I'm listening.
And Arthur actually clears his throat. He looks rather smug as he's saying this. Anyway, and I'm just going to make this up in all honesty. They would say, "Is Dr. Nasmov Pulfanis sans arbitar?" And believe me, that is far worse than it sounds.
Okay.
And yes, out of character. If any characters here have ever heard the Athene speak amongst themselves, Arthur just spoke Athene quite fluently.
Mm.
It basically sounds like a mix of Welsh, Gaelic, and other like languages that were that centre around the British Isles. Or very, very archaic languages that all mixed and mingled together.
I have
Definitely something
Gaelic.
expected.
Would I
Definitely
pick
something
up on
expected
something?
denizens to,
Actually,
say.
for the record, it is an ancient form of Gaelic, and you would get bits of whatever he said. You wouldn't get all of it because it is a very, very old form of Gaelic. That's how it worked with Alicia when she had Gaelic a long time ago.
Okay, so I would be able to pick up like
Yeah.
like the gist or
If
words
you
every
have
once in
any
a while.
if you have any language merits or like I don't know
Well,
academics or anything
yeah,
like that, you'll be
give
able to
him a
pick
few
out
details.
certain words that he's might be saying something about a ride. You recognise a word for ride, but other than that,
I was going to say, because he would get something out of that from having, updated modern Gaelic.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he gets a little bit.
It definitely involves the word ride in there, though the context of it is up for interpretation.
Estrella, who's your friend? Looking towards Galador.
Right. Your Excellency, this is Sir Galador Abdougal.
Oh. And then he kind of like reaches out his hands. You see on his left hand, it's kind of it's made out of metal almost. And he reaches forward to give you like a proper handshake.
Galador will shake his hand very formally and bow. A pleasure to meet you, Your Excellency.
Are you a new arrival?
Somewhat, sir.
How do you
He looks at Estrella.
How do you like the kingdom?
Very different from the kingdom I come from, sir.
Where do you come from?
Very interesting. I come from the kingdom of Caledonia.
Interesting. Wow. We'll have to talk about that at some time.
He inclines his head. Well, like he does like a half bow.
Mhm.
It's more relaxed than a full formal bow. Then he returns to behind Astrea.
Standing next to Morthel now, who is being very quiet.
Oh, hello. Looking at him. Wait.
Morthel just literally just like kind of raises a hand and
He'll shake it.
well, he was gonna wave, but okay, he'll shake hands.
How are you?
It's like he hesitates for a second, like he's racking his brain. What was that etiquette term again? I already rolled it once. I had 3 successes. What was it?
Excellency.
Yeah.
Your
Your Excellency was the
Thank
word.
you, thank you. Fairly well, Your Excellency.
He'll smile at him. How do you find the kingdom? Are you a new arrival?
Yes, I am a Morthil. He doesn't add app anything, so yeah.
We don't expect that for Slua normally.
Never know.
No, you don't ever know, but normally, no.
Okay. He's kind of like nods. Yes, recent arrival.
I see. How do you find it here?
Fairly well. Not to reuse the same expression too often.
That's good, brother. As he kind of just smiles politely at everyone. So, has there been any more developments on the ice one?
Yes, there have been. There's a specific experiment that I need to run, but there are things I need to do to, well, make sure it's safe.
I hope this situation gets resolved as soon as possible. It's brought a lot of harm to the kingdom at large. That reminds me, perhaps we can speak later, Baroness Laney.
Oh, of course. I would be happy to.
He'll shake his head.
Astria?
Yes.
Just let me do my thing. I promise I'm gonna be respectful, okay?
Don't trust him. Don't trust him.
No, she doesn't. She just kind of tilts her head at him.
Did she say anything? Because
She just kind of she tilted her head. Looks like she's waiting for more.
Explain yourself, son.
Arthur actually, seeing that this is actually going, Arthur actually approaches Toshio and Astria. Lady Greyhawk, perhaps I might be of some assistance to this. Toshio, you said you wanted to learn about the team?
yeah, but not right now.
Are you certain?
Not even gonna roll for that, but Cassius is gonna chuckle.
And An Ilunid must always prioritize his studies.
Astria, I hate you and you owe me.
Fine.
Kind of looks at Estrella and like, almost as if to say, give me a perception empathy.
Alright, let's do it. As soon as dice stream loads up. There we go. There's one.
It's almost as if like he's giving you that look, like you want to let him talk to you like that.
If you want to roll perception empathy on this, you can go on ahead.
Okay.
Oh.
In fact, this may be good. This may be good for everybody.
Oh, I am. Don't worry.
I think we both know the result of this roll
Of
is.
course. But I'm, whatever.
2.
None.
Yeah, I got a success.
Yeah.
Doesn't-
Yeah. So everybody here definitely notices Astrid never really turns up the she, like ever.
Mhm.
Laney's seen it happen once, maybe twice, but it is definitely a strange thing. Also,
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say. Also, the fact of the matter is, Toshi and Astrid have a much more informal relationship.
Oh.
So
Is Arthur actually like taking Toshi away?
Not physically, but he's letting him walk of his own accord.
Like he is, but he is leading him away from the group.
I know that Astria was kind of the one that was somewhat restraining him. So he's just kind of like trying to like somewhat lead, just kind of lead Toshi away from Castiel because otherwise a fight's going to break out.
Not necessarily. I kind of like the way this is going, but okay.
Yeah, well, that's
No,
just kind of
like-
the way. Usually Arthur wouldn't be kind of trying to encourage this kind of thing, but he's.
The question is like, are you leading him away from the group?
Well, he's taking a few steps away from the group, but not like actually leading him away as such. Not to
Okay.
like some quiet little corner where they can sit down and talk about the Adhene.
Like as we walk away slowly, Toshi is just going to lift a finger. 1 second, and he's gonna actually turn to Galador.
She
And
looks at it.
he's gonna go like, well, if you ever feel like that lesson, you know where to find me. And he's gonna give him a wink.
This gives you a very cool, level-headed look as you walk away.
Right. Toshia, if you're quite done flirting with Iron Men, would we like to learn about the particular kiths that the denizens have? They do have quite analogous, well, slightly different compared to our own.
I just failed my curiosity roll on that. Lady starts moving over there too.
can Astrid hear this?
Yeah,
see,
this is hella awkward.
I was gonna say,
Yeah, everyone's yeah,
I just failed curiosity. I'm going over there to find out more.
yes. All of a sudden, Castiel is being left alone. Arthur's the most popular man in the library. Wow.
Fine, go ahead.
Well, Lady will grab him along, but
Actually-
I don't think he wants to be.
No, like
Actually,
if
I'm-
like they
actually, I'm
all
not
seem to
just
be if they all seem to like be moving away from him, like Castiel will kind of just like if she goes to grab him, like to like motion him over, he'll be like, "It's okay, I think I've said enough." And like,
She'll probably pat his arm and just be like, okay, and then keep going because she's going because this is Adhene, and she actually is curious about Adhene. It's the one lore she doesn't have.
This is a perception check, only bare minimum. It would have been so funny if he'd failed to botch this. But anyway, yeah, Arthur starts to say something, but then he kind of like looks over it. He kind of like hears something, Right, so am I going to have to speak to the entire class about this?
Well,
There really
did
aren't any Adheen books in here. At least not many.
the ones I
Okay,
found
okay.
don't have the thing I'm looking for, actually.
Gather round, class. I'll tell what I know. I'm more
On
than
the other
willing to do
hand,
so.
if you want to know about inanime or something like that, there's plenty of books on that sort of subject here.
Well, besides Adheen, I'm interested in
Well,
Or Nunahai, there's some stuff here on that too.
yes. I'll give you the abridged version, as I feel that it's probably better to experience the Adheen one-to-one. The Adheen are not... They are like us, but they're not. Because they've spent the majority of their time hidden in deep dreaming. They don't usually possess... Well, they do have this means of possessing human bodies as we, who have taken the Changeling Way, do. But it's... I would hazard to say not quite as refined. You know. Furthermore, their lack of interaction with human society has made it difficult for them to really adapt in the same way that we do. After all, many of them even don't even understand human languages. Though, in particular, there are two of their, I suppose you could say they're kiths, but they're not kiths as such. There's the Fuath. They're like Puka in a way, but they don't lie. Well, that's not to say that they aren't capable of lying, but they don't have the same compulsion to lie, and they're not quite as cute and cuddly to look at. Furthermore, they're quite potent warriors. I mean, the ones that I've seen have claws, teeth, hooves. They are basically the dreams, creatures, should I say, that were born from humanity's darkest dreams for the fear of predatory animals. I do believe that more than one of us here is familiar with the Adheen who speaks the English language, Nozorn. Astria, I do believe that you and I have both met them.
Mm-hmm.
She has claws, does she not?
Yeah.
Yes, and we've both seen her use them to quite devastating effects. Well, I hate to bring up old memories, but Davy Jones's ship.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I still have his gun, by the way. I still have his flintlock. Yes, Nosehorn very much cut him in twain. It's really rather impressive. But yes, the other kith is known as the Fierbok. They're almost, well, he actually looks towards Laney at this point. They're almost similar to the satyrs in many ways, but their antlers are rather large. And
Well, there's a difference between antlers and horns.
yes. Thank you very much for that. They also seem to fulfill a role similar to that of the Shi in the Adheen society. They also have, at least from what I've heard, I've never actually seen it personally, but I've heard that they can control nature in a rather, I would say almost rather rambunctious manner. I mean, I've heard stories about their leader, Mosienne, being able to cause an entire kingdom to reign with blood. I've only heard this, mind you. I don't know if it's true. But nevertheless, they are the leaders of the Adheen, and they're probably the ones most likely to attempt to learn the English language. Though, as I said before, very many of the Adhene are very disconnected from humanity. It's not to say that some of them might not have learned things by possessing human hosts, but for the most part. So, any particular questions that we have?
Actually, Lainey's pretty much grabbed her notebook and kind of jotted everything down that you said, because she would have had it with her to do her study on those books anyway. So she just kind of went.
There's a reason I'm interested in them. I've actually heard that they have a very specific way to fight. And that's interesting.
A very specific way to fight, you say?
Yeah.
As in martial arts? Or changeling arts?
Christy, would Toshi know with his changing lore that it's actually an art?
That's actually still a bit up in discussion in the ST chat. We were trying to figure out how you would know about some of this stuff. You would have to do research on actual arts, I think, because I don't know if you'd get that specific with just general changeling lore.
And also technically, OOC, I think technically speaking, those particular arts you're thinking of are forbidden arts.
It's Discord.
It's not forbidden for Adhene.
Yeah, you'd need one of two things. You'd either need really high gray mare, or you need some moderately good Adhene lore.
Okay.
Or luck on researching in the library for actual investigation roles.
Okay,
Yeah.
so Toshi is going to answer that with, well, it's just the way they fight. I mean, I've heard some stuff. I don't know exactly what it is.
Well, they are quite a guarded creatures. So and considering the result of the war against the Adhene a year and a half ago, I don't think that they're, at least at the moment anyway, really in the mood for. I mean, you may get lucky, but I think that their modicum of trust for mixed bloods, as they call us, are really, how can I say this? I don't think they're in a state at the moment where they would be willing to teach those things if they do exist. I certainly don't know.
I probably need to look around a bit more. That's what I was looking for when that happened. I just slipped and bumped into the bookcase. That was not nice.
Well, as I said, the Adhene are something you have to, well, at least with what selection is on here, they're probably better learnt from practical sense. Helps if you actually know their language as well.
Okay. What would you want in return if I asked you to teach me then?
You'd have to get back to me on that. I've never actually been... I'll have a think about that and get back to you on that. It's rather a complex language. Well, it's not complex if you know Gaelic or any other language that's similar to that, but...
I'd actually do not.
Well, I'll have to think about what price I believe I should ask for you of this, but I don't believe it would be too much. And if nothing else, I could always just accompany you to any meetings that you had with any Adhene if you have need of a translator.
I don't even know where to find one.
Well, they do have their own encampments, their own refugee centres, as it were. I recall, anyway.
Who
Yeah,
who
what?
the Adheen?
Yes.
Oh yeah, there's pretty. Honestly, it's not hard to find one. I'm pretty sure we all know where not to go
Mm,
if we wish to
Fuck
avoid
it.
them.
Why don't you take me there sometime then?
perhaps I will. They do give me rather odd looks, however, when I do speak the Adheen language to them.
You probably have a bad accent.
Well, perhaps.
Or maybe
Also-
it's the fact that you're not Adheen.
Hmm.
Also talking
Oh,
about
see, this is This is a rather interesting question. But do you think that, considering who Arthur learnt Adheen from, that you would sound like a Middlemarch Redcap?
Well, I know who he learned it
Something
from.
that's something you can throw to the storytellers.
Well,
'cause it'll
you
be very
learned it.
interesting.
You learned it from Nosehorn, right?
Nosehorn, Lord Modoc of the Middlemarch Redcaps, and he has Remembrance 5, so he probably did learn a little bit back upon yonder.
I have no idea what you would sound like, to be honest. It isn't that big of a deal. But it's safe to say that
Yeah.
you probably do have a very odd accent if you picked it up from 3 different sources.
I'm gonna jump out, guys. It was fun. Talk to you guys later.
See you, man.
Margrim is gonna arrive at Harnar's library.
Yep.
He will look around. Who he will see?
Everyone here, and they all appear to be paying attention to Arthur.
Yeah, well, Galador's not there at the moment. Although we gotta find a way to get him back in here somehow.
Where did he go?
He went off the train.
Oh, okay then.
He's working on Primal out in the training grounds.
Sounds fun.
He slowly goes and takes a book and sits. Doesn't go near people.
I'm gonna try perception notice. That's probably fair for all of us. I'm sorry, notice perception alertness. Notice is a different system.
No, Arthur doesn't spot him. He's happy that people are paying attention to him.
I don't think he's not trying to hide. Lainey does in fact notice. 1 success is all you need. And she'll glance up, kind of notice him, and then turn back. And this is where I try to see if I can I'm just trying to keep her face neutral, that's all. Yeah, 2 successes for neutral face.
Morthil kind of halfway, like, sidles over towards Estrella. Not getting too close or anything, but he just kind of, while there's a break in the conversation and people are doing their own things, he's just like, don't suppose I could get your contact information?
Tim just like left, so he won't reply. Either
Oh,
just, like,
shit.
spoken that.
Sorry, didn't see that. Yeah, never mind.
Right. Just to kill a little bit of time until Tim does get back. Arthur will probably like clear his throat once he's confident that everyone's question has been answered, and he'll actually approach Baroness Laney. My lady, one small issue that I'd like to bring up whilst it's still fresh in memory. Rancor told me about the efforts that, well, the idea that he had towards approaching Merfolk.
Mm-hmm. He mentioned your part in his plan, yes.
Yes. Have you spoken to the necessary parties?
I haven't, and it wasn't really the right place to do it while Castiel was here. He's the one who I need to speak to. But he did want to speak to me later, so I'll bring it up then.
Okay.
I need to hear from you, though. Are you very certain this is something you would want to do? Because I'm not even certain
I'm-
if he'll condone it, or whether I would condone it. It's more.
On what
It
grounds?
just sounds
if you
so
don't mind me asking.
Go on.
On what grounds, if you don't mind me asking?
Well, I just need to make certain when it comes to something that's essentially, as I understood it, and forgive me if I misunderstood, but to be blunt, selling your body to the merfolk in return for information?
That is essentially it, and whilst in most circumstances, and I hope you don't find me rather chauvinistic by saying this, if the situation were reversed, I would definitely find it rather aberrant. However, considering the merfolk's matriarchal society and the fact that we have little in the way of bargaining power, if it means that I must sheath my sword in another sheath than one that I would typically sheath into.
She's kind of creeped out of this.
I sure would probably say I'd probably change up that phrasing. I understand what you were going
Yes,
for, but
yes. Well, I apologise, my lady and my other lady, but
All
I
those my
can't
ladies.
call me old-fashioned, but my father told me never to use language like that in front of someone of higher station.
We get the point. We get the point of what you were trying to say there. She kind of holds her hand up in front of her, like, stop.
Yes, well, one
I'm a
has to do their
forgive
duty.
me. I'm a Fiona, and I'm not really shy about this stuff at all. But I find the idea of that to be a little bit much. So that's one of the things I need to discuss with Count Castiel.
Yes, that's your concerns are completely understandable. And the long and short of it is, I believe we can negotiate a night and a day.
Again, I will discuss this with my lord. And I hope we can leave it at that for now. I'll have to get back to you. Do you have some way I can contact you? Because I had no way at all, actually.
Oh?
Other than to send a message.
I am usually found in the library. Well, have been in the library recently. And I do plan to be here for quite some time.
All right. If that's how you wish it to be, then that's how it will be. I will let you know once I know anything.
Tim, still around?
yeah, I'm here.
Okay. As the conversation seems to be, diverting to other people and stuff, Morthal kind of sidles over to Estrella, just quietly, not that he has any other option, says, "Don't suppose I could get your contact information?" Out of character, I don't remember the appropriate term for Baroness, but I don't think I rolled for that one, did I?
You didn't, no.
If it looks like Morthal's struggling on it, she'll kind of lean over and say,
I got a success.
"Okay." You
could just say Baroness, or you can say my lady.
Yeah, it's one or the other. And
My
judging
lady.
by the she'll just kind of give him that look and be like, "We're not that formal right now. Just Astria is fine."
Ah, all right. Didn't want to be the second person to be throwing a fence. He'll just exchange numbers essentially, quietly.
Yeah.
Margrim, continue reads his book.
Is he close enough to the group?
Yeah, he is close, but not that, amazingly close.
Okay, then Toshi is just going to raise his head up. Woo! Hey!
Hey!
What's up, pretty boy?
Bored.
Welcome, what's up, bud? How's it going?
Boring. How are you guys?
Okay, not gonna lie, I'm kind of slightly down right now.
Why? What's
Did y'all hear about Prince?
Pardon?
Prince.
Who's Prince?
Oh my god.
Oh, brother. All right. Okay, it's all good, man. We're gonna get you. Nah, this Prince is this really famous singer. He actually passed away like today, and yeah, my
Which
parents
album?
listen to him like all the time.
Which album do you think we should start with?
I'm not
Margam
sure.
smiles. He doesn't know who this guy's talking about, so. Anything strange happened recently?
Mm, strange, not particularly, not lately at least.
I heard people breaking his sheet and stuff. I wonder what's gonna happen with Rancor.
Yeah, that's definitely it's definitely something we'll have to work out.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm a little bit new, so what's the? He's kind of like looks questioning, like some sort of a disturbance.
Mm, it's a bit of a long story.
Some people just left a member of House Island to die, so. The guy smiles. Who says that? We're waiting for the justice.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I just want all of you to know that all of you are very much appreciated.
You'd think I'd overhear that, even from the other side where I'm hanging out with, with Arthur.
No,
You'd
no,
think
no,
I'd hear
no.
that.
No,
You'd think
Lady
I'd hear
hears that. Astra says it loud enough specifically for Lady to hear.
And
What
Lady,
did
Lady looks up and she's just like, "Damn it, Astria!"
Astria said?
She said all of you are appreciated.
Appreciate.
Oh, that's
Fine.
very nice of you to say, so Lady Greyhawk.
And she's like, Astria, I'm pretty sure that maybe you appreciate too much.
You can never appreciate too much.
Nice.
Is this some kind of secret girl code or some shit?
She doesn't say a word. Doesn't say a damn word. Just has a sort of a smirk on her face.
Margam looks at
Arthur's
Astria. He
got
doesn't
nothing
understand
on
what
his
I mean.
gainer.
Margam gives a look to Astria, like, he doesn't understand what's happening.
Nobody does, but us.
Yeah, Astra will say, don't worry about it. It's just kind of a silly thing.
Cool. So anything else that we need to talk about?
There was one thing that I wanted to ask everyone here.
It has to do with birth control and merfolk. I'm not
No.
discussing it.
It's nothing like that. It's actually quite a serious matter. I believe I've already spoken with Toshia about this. But I had a rather had a rather, how can I put this, random encounter with this human, which I don't quite know how to describe them.
Did one of them go by a number as a name?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
9967, I think.
Some
Yeah,
sort
that-
of. Yes.
Uh-huh. I met her. She mentioned something to do with you, and Rancor clarified that it was definitely you.
Mm-hmm.
Rancor putting someone in danger again? Margaret just raises
No,
it.
no.
Lady is standing very tall and not even looking at him.
He's.
Margaret has a smile on his face.
Would you like me to give the short version, my lady?
Who are you speaking to? Which my lady?
You, my lady.
Whatever version you'd like to give.
I went to the Museum of Contemporary Arts. Found this artist, this Pickman. Thought I could gather some dross, maybe even gather some glamour from the artist himself if I was able to meet them. And there are these extraordinarily perceptive humans there. The girl with the numbers for a name. She was there as well, and she was the first. Well, I was trying to learn something about the arts, well, the art pieces, which seemed rather grisly to look at. She turned to me and she said, "Ooh," and she was looking at my armor, and my hair.
Yeah, she can see. She could
Sword.
see.
Yes,
Yeah, she
and
can see that stuff.
Yes, and as best as I could tell, she wasn't Kinane.
No, she's something else. Maybe Astrid can explain better. Rancor had to explain it to me.
Well, there's just certain people that are able to see us for what we really are, and they're not necessarily Canaan, and they're not necessarily changelings. It's a bit complex. I don't know too much about it. I definitely have to read more on them, but it's definitely something that draws us to them.
Yes.
Oh, and Rancor
No.
warned me not to never try to enchant her without her permission.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Bad things happen.
Anyway, to cut a long story short, she had friends there, including this one who was rather unnecessarily rude towards me. I was nothing if not polite to this lady with the numbers. I took her hand, kissed it, said, "Hello, my name is Arthur," as one should. Manners don't cost a thing. Apparently, this friend of hers saw otherwise, and well, I tried to be courteous, and I admit I did let my temper slip. Threw a little curse her way, nothing too serious, just something where she would end up tripping on the next crack that she stepped on. Something that only someone with even the mediocre knowledge of soothsay could use. Nothing that would have been overtly harmless. And then she drew a knife on me, and I was forced to defend myself.
Knife.
No one died. No one died, in case you're wondering.
That's the type of woman I would like to meet.
But yes, the lady with the numbers is quite handy with her karate kicks.
I don't know. She didn't try to kick me. I cloud watched with her. After she decided she was going to stand there and... She came up and she decided to touch my horns. We were in a public park.
Good Lord.
Is this person... He looks at Arthur and says, a problem for his chief?
The girl with the numbers, I don't believe so. If the girl who pulled a knife on me in the Grey World is anything to go by, if they're persistent, then perhaps. But as of yet, I mean, unless they start going out, if they start going out trying to hunt down, you know, our kind, then I do believe that we have yet another problem. If not, well...
Rancor said he thought they were wizards or something.
Yes, I have thought that as well. I mean, it's not very often. I mean, they were quite.
At least
they were not
at
quite
least
as
the girl.
banal. Yes, they weren't quite as banal as most humans.
Yeah, that's very true. At least about the one I met.
Woman who, yes, the woman who brought the knife out on me. She, well, I know I've been around the block, and I know a drug addict when I see one. I don't need to see the. I don't need to see the space rocks to see someone who's been playing, you know, chasing the absinthe dragon, whatever the expression is.
Okay, so the point of all this is just like we should watch out for them? Is that what you were trying to bring up?
Yes, and if we do see this girl with the numbers again, I mean, I'm not saying that I'd like to say hello to her again, you know, preferably without her psychotic knife-wielding friend. But, you know, I do feel that this was an incident that could have been avoided if, I don't know. Besides, I didn't really hex her all that badly.
All that badly? You threw magic around
No.
and you think they're wizards?
Well, if they were wizards, they probably would have had more sense, and I would have imagined that they would have been more polite. I mean, as I said, what do manners cost?
Can I just mention something? If you're going to make generalizations like that, well, look at all of us. We're all changelings, but are we all polite? As she glances to Toshi.
Yes, but we have an excuse for it. We were never human.
When Lainey says that and glances over to Toshi, Toshi's gonna like...
She actually kind of gives him a grin as she's doing it, by the way. It's not like meant to be an insult.
Yeah, I know. Like, Toshi is going to grin back and blow her a kiss.
She'll catch the kiss and tuck it in her pocket in a really annoyingly flirty way.
Oh, see, I used to have a girlfriend who did that all the time. Thank you very much.
He's the one who blew the kiss. It's not my fault. She had to react somehow.
Yeah, but she didn't put it down. She didn't put it in her pocket. She put, yeah.
Okay, that's
But anyway,
creepy.
yes. Anyway, no, anyway, Jason's mind has been wandering a little bit. Let's carry on with the scene.
Yeah, so either way, that little bit of byplay, and then Lainey goes back. She's like, the point being, not all of us are the same. Why should we assume all of them are the same?
Suppose you do have a point, my lady. What would you suggest the solution to this problem, if it is a problem, is?
My suggestion, stay away from them. If you see they're there, stay away. They seem not to get along with you, but I seem to get along with at least the one girl pretty all right.
I can go talk to them if you want.
I wouldn't risk yourself too much, Toshia, but thank you for the offer. I feel that perhaps the girl with the numbers, I think I overheard one of them call her Ginger, perhaps?
Yeah, it's a nickname after her hair color. She made it very clear. She doesn't care what she's called.
Okay. I feel that perhaps the girl with the knife was a very rather bad influence on her. She seemed rather nice, you know, when I first met her.
Right, so
But
lesson
yes,
of the day is pretty much just be careful around wizards. Or around people who do weird things. But we should be careful about that stuff anyways.
Of course, of course. Well, that is all I have to say, my lady. Is she well on?
I should
Did I
probably.
hear? Sorry, carry on.
I was just gonna say I should probably get back to my studies. That's all I was saying. Nothing important.
That's it. I believe I should probably go for. Hello. And Arthur actually notices a book out to the corner of his eye and starts to go into it, or go towards the book and start. Interesting. And then yeah, Arthur will just follow off into the occult section.
Malcolm looks at the Toshi. Toshi,
Hey,
you gotta do something better.
I don't know. What should we do?
I don't know. There's nothing a lot to do.
Then we go drink.
That's possible. I want to study actually, but yeah, drink is a possibility as well.
Is
He looks
Astrid
at
there?
Astrid.
Yeah, sure. She's just in there listening, kind of reading a book.
Are you doing something, Astrid?
Nah, not really.
Let's do something then.
I mean, what you want to do? I hear drinking and I hear studying. I'm not opposed to doing both at the same time.
You want to drink or you want to study?
I mean, we can do both.
Yeah, why not both?
Yeah, let's study about his cheat. I wanna, have more insight on it.
Mm-hmm. Just kind of hear the whooshing from outside. Someone's really going at it. That's for sure.
What did he say?
Oh, I think Galador is outside in one of the training rooms, like throwing around fireballs with Primal. He's training.
Oh,
Like he's at a training
when-
room.
When Astria mentions Galador, Toshi's eye twitch.
what happened? Like, are you alright, Toshi?
I'm okay.
Or you don't like okay? What's the problem? Tell me.
No. I'm okay. I'm fine.
Okay, dude.
All good.
Do you want me to roll? Do you want me to roll perception empathy?
Go ahead.
You're gonna get. He's perfectly fine. I'm waiting for it.
Yeah, that is
Totally
what he
legit.
gets. He's all right. He'll be all right.
I have.
You have a botch.
That's a
Oh.
botch. So he's a
That's not a
terrible, terrible
botch.
cheat.
Guys, calm down. Wait. That's not a botch. I have acute sense and hearing, and he was, using his. Like he was talking. So.
I'm not so
Well,
sure
you can-
because you were trying to gauge his reaction.
Yes, his reaction of his voice actually. Like you can
I
check
don't-
reaction by hearing someone. What I didn't specify what I'm doing actually. I just said I'm roll perception empathy.
I'm gonna let Austin make a call on that one since he's the one who's like actually at ST at the moment. Since I have a PC here, assuming Austin is really there.
Well, I don't think he's back quite yet. Is he?
Austin's here. Austin's thinking.
Oh, okay.
I don't know about that.
But I'm just gonna say
Yeah, I'm not gonna let acute senses hearing go. I see where you're going with it,
Mhm.
but Not enough there. Not enough conversation.
No problem.
So it's a botch.
Yep. I don't see anything.
In fact, you probably get something else entirely.
Probably.
Like if he is actually perfectly fine, you're probably getting that there's something really, really wrong, and it's in that book right there that's near him. No, he's not looking at the Book of Nod.
I wish I could.
No.
Either way, you think something's really wrong with him, unfortunately, Amajon.
Mm-hmm.
So drinks and studying.
Yeah, let's do
Doing
that.
this?
I'm cool with it.
My place.
No, sounds good to me.
Let's go then.
Let's go.
Where's your place again? That's the ST asking.
He meant he meant his freehold.
Where is it located?
Chinatown.
Chinatown.
Oh boy.
Well, I think with that, Toshi just gets up and heads outside.
Astria starts to get her stuff together. We're following him out in a second.
Lady will just look up at her as she's doing that, and just meet Astria's eyes, like, you know, one of those deep, deep gazes, and just be like, "I appreciate you, Astria,"
I appreciate you too.
and then grin at her, and go back to her books.
She'll smile and wink.
I think it's safe to end the scene there. Yes, I think that's the point.
All right. Fair enough. Thank you, players for players, watchers for watching, and